Hey.
Yeah, that's that gangly fuck.
How are you?
Well, it's not bad.
It's good to see you. I was talking to Mark Babbitt today. He says hello.
No shit. Is he
Yes.
still working at Domino's?
He's working for a chain of gas stations now. Actually, he's
we were gonna try to surprise you with it and just have him like come on without you knowing.
Great.
Mhm.
Yeah, I suggest is there a way that we could like hide you in the Zoom waiting room and then just drop you on Doug like halfway through the podcast? He goes, it would be better if I just like came over and just sort of like refilled your waters.
In the background. Is Makenzie still there?
She's right by.
I just woke up.
Hi.
Good.
I listened to you guys for like 2 hours on a drive today.
Oh shit, yeah.
Pull a chair around, Kenzie.
Yeah, come on in. Hello.
I took an edible about 3 hours ago, and now add a little Bailey's whiskey coffee on it. I think
Yeah.
it'd be good for getting a shot.
This is exciting.
Don't I look good?
You do. How are you?
She literally just walked out of the bedroom saying, "Oh, we took mushrooms and we were up till forever." I go, "I gotta do this podcast."
Sure, yeah, we took mushrooms and watched Terminator.
Hey.
That's really
Yeah.
good.
It's heavy.
Wait, which Terminator?
First one,
The first one. Yeah.
1984.
He's our buddy now, Michael Bean, that played the guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he lives
That's
in Bisbee. Yes, so we're pals.
That's awesome. I was listening to your last podcast and you were talking about a book you read about Tombstone, and I need that because my husband's obsessed with it and we want to go soon. We want to take my kid to Tombstone.
It's called the Last Gunfight.
Okay.
I did it on Audible. It was
Okay.
fucking fantastic. No, I read that one. That was
Okay.
not- yeah, that was a real book.
All right. We'll have to do that. All right. So I'm already recording, but we'll start in a minute. Usually when we start, Ben does like kind of an opener and then we bring on the guest, but I think you should just.
Yeah, I think this one should go as is.
Yeah.
High as fuck.
Perfect.
Dive right into it. Are we ready?
Are we? Is there?
Going and now I think if you said okay, we're starting now, then I would like try to change my tone. I'll fuck with my head.
All right, I'm OCD about it. I'm gonna check one more time. Yes, we are recording. Yeah, we're good to go whenever we're ready. No,
Yeah,
before I do, thank you. Thank you.
Intro in after the fact.
For...
Jaylee, when you do ad copy when I'm drinking. It's so painful to do anyway. You'd like to be numbed down, but I tend to go off script and tell the truth about some of the things I see in the ad copy.
We're not burdened by the success of having to do ad copy.
No, no. I would like to be burdened one day. It'd be nice. All right, cheers. Let's start.
Cheers. Shall we start?
Yep.
Cheers, Diane.
Cheers, Doug.
Diane.
Cheers, Makenzie.
Cheers.
Uh-oh.
What are y'all drinking?
What is this? Amaro?
This is an Amaro. We're being fancy.
Mm-hmm.
We're being.
What is
That's all I
it?
We're like, what?
What's it? Is it? That's the name of the liqueur?
No, it's a Verna. Amaro is like the category. Like every like a little Italian town makes its own Amaro apparently.
Oh, it's
like a grappa or whatever.
Yeah. It'll be similar to like
You're drinking moonshine.
like Jaeger is technically an Amaro. It's just it's like a German Amaro. So
Yeah.
the Italians reject it.
Right.
I get all my fucking great ideas way too late and when I'm high, but I know at the end I have to tell you my guilty pleasure song. So I was gonna get her and Bingo and Taylor to all play one of their songs at the same time.
Yes.
It's hard to pull off at 10:30 in the morning when everyone's taking their balls off all night.
I would love it. Yeah, we had Henry Phillips on and he played one of his songs live. So if you guys want to play anything, that would be awesome.
I don't think we have a guitar.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would have taken a lot of production work, like finding a guitar and waking them all up. Getting them to actually do it.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, let's do it.
There's Henry Phillips over there, down on the floor, if you can see her.
Oh, hey, Henry
Hey,
Phillips.
Henry Phillips.
Yeah. I named her after Henry Phillips.
That's awesome.
Henry Phillips is a friend of our show. He's been a guest before.
Yes, he has.
He's the only person that we had on to talk about his own music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I don't know shit about music, so.
Oh, neither do we. That's the strange thing. We should probably tell that like Diane and I do a podcast about music, but we don't write music, we don't play music, we don't really understand music, but we react to music.
Yeah.
And we like talking to people about the music that moves them, however way it shapes.
I usually react to it by can you turn that fucking down? I'm funny, I'm not a dancer. Rounding out my fucking shoe in.
A lot of comedians are like that. Paul Odo hates live music because he's like, we need to talk to each other. And I was like, this is the one place we don't have to do this. But yeah.
Yeah, well, live music, fucking piped in music, a jukebox that's too loud. Yeah, if I'm in a bar, I want to talk to people. And I don't want to talk to people otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
When people call me just to talk, I don't take those calls.
Yeah.
Talking's for bars.
Let's go meet up. Yeah, so what we usually do is like we're covering one song and then we kind of go through the lyrics line by line and then we'll talk about like what the fuck we think they're talking about, what it means, what the band says it means versus what it seems like it means. But this is going to be different because we juggled so many ideas of what we wanted to talk about. But
let's just talk.
All right.
Songs that I couldn't go line by line through any song to tell you what it meant or what they meant. I fucking hate when artists say, "Oh, it's open to interpretation." Like you listen to so many musicians talk, and you go, like fucking Mishka is a good example. It's a friend of ours, but you go, "You're too stupid to write those good of lyrics." Yeah, like songs like Yellow Ledbetter, where you fucking read it and it sounds like it's really deep and the lyrics are basically fucking nothing.
Right. Did we do that one?
No, we didn't do that one. We did do a Pearl Jam episode.
We did Black, maybe, but yeah.
God,
that was the last CD I bought was Pearl Jam 10.
Really?
In 1992.
That's
fucking 30 years ago.
That was the end of by that point between the 70s when I grew up
I don't blame you.
and the mid 90s, I know enough music. If I care to listen to it, if I'm tripping or something, I know a fucking 100 songs I like, and that's enough.
Right.
Yeah, it's plenty.
All right, let's jump in. Let's start officially, I guess. Have we not started
We're officially started.
All right.
We're rolling. Will it make you feel better? We're here with author and stand-up comedian Doug Stanhope. One of the finest stand-ups working today. He's the author of 2 books, Digging Up Mother and No Encore for the Donkey, and we're very pleased that he's spending some time with us this afternoon. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Introduce your friend.
Oh, and this is Makenzie of Birdcloud.
Yes. And is Birdcloud still together? No.
No.
You know what? Things like that need to come on strong and die. It's too good. Like
but there's always
we
talk.
We're gonna die if we kept doing that. And I mean, we're friends. I mean, and we might still do some stuff sometimes, but I mean.
I think of Birdcloud like a Ricky Gervais series. Like it comes in hot, does exactly what it needs to do, and then goes out.
Burn bright. Yeah. It's wild. I mean, still kind of recovering from it.
It's pretty damn good.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll tell the audience, when we first started talking to Doug about what song we were going to do, we started talking about J. Geils because you had some great J. Geils stories. And
but you suggested J. Geils because they're from the same hometown.
Right.
That. But it did mean something because we were exposed to J. Geils before they were once Centerfold hit, it's like, all right, this is garbage.
Yeah.
Like we knew the old fucking blues. That a lot of it was cover songs, but they were huge, so you get airplay. Back then, you could have local bands on the air.
Right.
Yeah, and I was New Year's Eve of 80 or 81. I got front row tickets at the Centrum for New Year's Eve, and I brought this girl that I'd had a crush on for a million years, and that never panned out, but fucking Magic Dick doing Whamma Jamma, the fucking J. Geils, the harmonica player, is just this giant fucking bush of hair and beard. He's barely a face. And when he fucking play the harmonica, he was just sweating. It was this giant Brillo of heads sweating all over you. And I'm so pleased to have been sweat on by Magic Dick playing the camera.
Was your date just as pleased?
Yeah, never. Brenda LaFlamme.
Oh, Brenda.
Yeah, those are the girls you don't look up on Facebook because when they're your age,
No, it's not good anymore.
it can't be.
So we were gonna do like a Geils episode, but then you text me last night, and well, you go ahead and tell me what
pushing you about because Rickie Lee Jones. And not a lot of people know Rickie Lee Jones, and she had one major hit was Chucky's in Love. Did you know it when you heard it?
Yeah, I thought I didn't know it, and then I played it today, and I was like, oh, I know this song.
Yeah,
I don't know it.
You'd know it.
Oh.
I didn't know it. I didn't know a thing about Rickie Lee Jones until
Well,
about
it's 1979 it came out.
Yeah,
and that's I probably got it from Columbia House Record and Tapes. I never paid the bill, but I fell in love with it. Just probably because of the cover. She's fucking absolutely gorgeous. Probably not now. I just watched a live a recent YouTube of her doing Chucky's in Love, and she sounds like the drunk friend that you talk in a karaoke that thinks they know their song and is singing against the chords and it's
oh, well, that's too bad.
Yeah, that's why suicide as a business plan, like.
Well, we're talking about people not looking good when they get older. Did you see Dolly Parton yesterday?
Hell yes, I love that. Even though Dolly's a dyke.
Yeah.
Oh, this is news. Tell me more about that.
Right
She's
as her attorney, I can say there is precedent set that you cannot sue someone for calling you homosexual publicly because that is not something that's derogatory.
Well, anyway, if it's not true, it's a real fun rumor in Nashville that she's got a shaved head and she's covered in tattoos. She can have whatever she wants. She's still an angel. I don't really give a fuck what she does.
I don't know.
But yeah, she looked awesome, and I loved that so much. I think I commented like a bunch of fires.
Yeah.
So Rickie Lee Jones, her first album, that's when you had your albums and that's what you could listen to, or the radio. You didn't have instant access to whatever's, so you learned all the fucking songs, and that was one of the albums that I fucking loved every song. And yeah, I was fascinated. I still to this day, songs that, I Love, Death, and Foreign Countries are when like songs that are fantastic.
We just Lawyers, Guns, and Money. There's a lot of it in there.
What's that?
We just did an episode on Lawyers, Guns, and Money by Warren Zevon. That's a
yeah. God, he's good.
Yes, Zevon is one of my favorites. If you ask me my favorites, and I'm honest, I would say Counting Crows never gets a fucking strong response. Warren Zevon. I love Neil Diamond. It's fucking great.
You like Little Feat?
No, I like one song by Little Feat, and I only like cover versions. I hate their version. When I found out they did fucking Willin',
Willin'?
Lord, if you give me weed, white sand wine.
Willin'. You moving. You don't know that song?
You never don't. Tucson to Tucumcari to Hatchapee to Tonopah.
Yeah,
I've been
the cover. I think the cover of that particular record. There's a tomato, like a sexy tomato, laying in a hammock.
No, I think that's the Little Feet album.
You sure? Yeah. Okay, I'll look that up.
I learned it from a one-man band guy that played after comedy open mics when I started in Vegas, and I'd never heard it. And he fucking sang the shit out of it. And then I found the original version. I go, fucking RV Parks does this way better.
Well, so let's talk about why Chucky's in Love is important today.
Well, I ended up going to see Rickie Lee Jones in concert in Minneapolis with the whitest, most polite, stupid, uptight audience. Where like I'd go out to smoke, and then they'd wait. I couldn't be let back in while she was performing. I had to wait for a song to end. And she has this song, "Last Chance Texaco." It's it's got a lot of fucking gas station analogies to a fucking broken down relationship. And people are laughing at it like it's a fucking Weird Al song. And I'm like, are you fucking like, I walked out so fucking angry at the audience. Anyway, so Thanksgiving, probably 1996 or 7. I was dating this former child star, Christine Hodge from Head of the Class. Yeah. I'd never seen it, but I dated her for sure.
I was raised on that show. I know who she is.
You were
well, no.
Yeah, I remember in spite on my bio on my website after we had broken up, I had to redo my bio, and whatever it was. It wasn't a bio. It couldn't have been a bio. Whatever. I wrote that she was one of People Magazine's 50 most beautiful women in the world, but she wasn't one of mine.
Is this the one that the Prince story?
Yeah, this is Rob Mungle, our friend, told me the story. He was on the road with you when you were breaking up with her. And apparently you had just this excellent line where you're just like, you just found out you broke up with your girlfriend in People Magazine. I can't tell you the guy's name, but I can tell you what he does for a living. He works as the Prince of Monaco.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me put that in my, I think that was the first book. Mm-hmm. The lawyers fucking ixnayed the punchline. I go, but that guy is like notoriously litigious. He's sued the fucking tabloids in London and won just about something that was factual, that he was cheating on his fucking wife, but he still won. And they're like, we're not fucking with the Prince of Monaco.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. So I saw her, and then I'm dating this girl. And her best friend, Lily Hayden, who's a musician, a violinist, we're going to go out for Thanksgiving. And I had been spending 2 weeks, solid days of reading Lenny Bruce's biography, The Ladies and Gentlemen Lenny Bruce. And it's like fucking 900 pages. It's the longest book I'd ever read. And I was fucking glued to it. And I hated to leave to go for Thanksgiving. We went to fucking, not Rich Miller. Who's the guy that did the bit about the next thing you know, you're drinking some blue alcohol that looks like what they use to clean combs? He's an 80s deadpan guy. We go to his house, and then we go afterwards. We're gonna go for a nightcap at Rickie Lee Jones's house. we're going to fucking Rickie Lee Jones's house. Holy shit. And at some point they go, oh, you're reading that Lenny Bruce book. We're with Lily's mother. She's driving. Have you heard Lotus Weinstock?
I haven't, no.
No.
She's her fucking headshots, one of the first ones at the Comedy Store. She was huge in the 70s. She's kind of like Sandra Bernhardy, but in the Lenny Bruce era. She goes, oh yeah, Lily's mom was engaged to Lenny Bruce when he died. And I went, Lotus Weinstock? And I'm like, oh wait, Lily Hayden, Maury Hayden. She had changed her name. I go, I've been just reading about you fucking voraciously for the last 2 days. I go fucking.
Holy shit.
So yeah, not that, and fucking being at Rickie Lee Jones's house, I was fucking dumbstruck. It was horrible. She brought her daughter down, who was probably like fucking 9 or John Benet Ramsey age, and made her just fucking sing and dance for everyone. I'm gonna let it smoke. But I'm a fucking huge fan She also introduced me to Tim Curry, and nobody knows Tim Curry's music. Tim Curry, that would be in my top 10 fucking albums, would be the best of Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, the actor Tim Curry?
The actor?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, nobody knows his music, and I was so fucking starstruck.
I'm struck by two things. He makes music and you've met him?
Yeah, well, the same girl, Lily Hayden, he had some charity art auction that they were going to. Like, I get to tag along to a fucking ton of things just because she was a former child star that was great with the gift of bullshit.
Oh, wow.
She got us into like Oscar parties where she wasn't on the list, but her bullshit was so solid, and I'd just trail behind.
That's amazing. Again, what the fuck how did I miss Tim Curry having an album? I mean, it makes sense that he would, but yeah, I had no idea.
I do the rock. That was the closest he came to a hit.
I don't know his music. I mean, he's got a good voice in, everything that he does. I mean,
Rocky Horror.
He's in Annie too.
Yeah.
Annie the other day. I forgot he was Rooster in that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I love him.
Yes, search I Do the Rock. Make a list.
All right, hold on. I need to get a pen.
I'm taking a note.
All right, take notes. He's my secretary.
Do the Rock, Tim Curry.
Do the Rock. All right.
I do the rock.
I do
the rock myself. Yes, he's very emotive on stage. Hey, where's our goddamn bartender? Where did she have to go to work?
I made a vodka kombucha cocktail.
I
don't know about that.
Well, okay, so all that happens, and then years later, I become friends with Johnny Depp, and he's got a fucking weird cloister of friends.
Yeah, including you.
Yeah, like some. I mean, like fucking, well, not Steve Perry. That's Journey. Joe Perry. Like fucking walk in the house to make coffee, and they're fucking still awake, fucking just jamming guitars on the couches, and you're like, this would be really cool to people who fucking care about music. But then one night, this fucking little, troll of a fucking like a Hervé Villachez meets Roy Orbison. Just fucking hairy mop toppy guy, and he's like, this is my friend Chucky Weiss. And I go, wait, Chucky's in love? Chucky Weiss? And he fucking snaps. Michael Biehn, that we just talked about.
Terminator.
Yeah.
Kyle Reese.
He's in Tombstone. That's why I fucking read that Last Gunfighter book. The Last Gunfight. You start talking to him. Did I already say this?
No.
About how he just goes ballistic anytime you bring up Tombstone about how the Earps are fucking overrated pieces of shit, and fucking he's still searching for Ike Clanton's grave. That movie never left him the same way Hunter S. Thompson never left Johnny Depp after he did that movie. He's always been that guy. It's kind of like, you know how you turned into Hedberg for a fucking week after you worked with him? Oh, yeah. I had to stop listening to Bill Burr because I'd say ladies on my podcast. Ladies! So yeah, this is fucking, he goes into this tirade like Michael Biehn does about the fucking Earps, about, I didn't even find her attractive. I don't know, everyone thinks that song, and I just looked it up before. The song was like her and Tom Waits were dating, Rickie Lee Jones, and they got a call from Chucky, who they worked with, and he said he was in love with some lady in Denver, and she hung up the phone and said, Chucky's in love, and liked the way it sounded. But just the idea that everyone thinks he was in love with her, it makes him fucking crazy. And this is 40 years after the fucking and he's just exploding in the kitchen. I'd fucking walk down the street, and Jesus, I'd see her, I can't even fucking look at you in the face. Like a very fresh wound.
So he doesn't love the song, I guess.
So yeah, I go, all right, there's like something that has a fucking through line. From 1979, and then meeting her and being in love with her and fucking, well, not weirdly, but and then meeting Chucky, and then Chucky fucking disparaging everything about that song. And I know I was trying to talk you into that, and then you kept pushing the Jay Geils thing. And then fucking yesterday, I talked to Johnny for the first time in probably a year. I talked to him for an hour and a half. He goes, "Yeah, I have to tell you that, my good friend Chucky Weiss." I go, "Yeah, he's like, I hate to talk about him in the past tense, but he died this morning."
Oh no.
Fucking yeah, we're definitely talking about.
Yeah.
But it's not even about Chucky. Chucky's only ancillary to this story, and I know nothing else about him other than
Yeah, because
Chucky Weiss, R.I.P., was never in love with Rickie Lee Jones like I was.
Important to note. Yeah, when you said that, I was like, shit, I have to do all this research on Chucky. And I started looking on Wikipedia, and I was like, my God, this guy played with everybody from like Howlin' Wolf all the way to Gibby Haynes at the Butthole Surfers. And you were like, what? Like, I didn't know that either.
I looked that up because I thought it's the other two guys. One's an ex-Butthole Surfer, and the other Paul something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp was in the group too. Like they all played together in like one super group.
I found that out today. I did it when I was doing research.
So is that all you have to say about that? Because we didn't want to talk about Jay Geils, but I did want to talk about, and we can play the clip if you want a refresher.
Yeah, I don't know if you're are you unpopular enough you can still get away with playing the
Yes.
If I play clips on YouTube, they just kind of give me like, hey, if you ever start making money, you got to take this down. Where I'm like, we're fine.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to see that opening clip where he sounds like Mitch?
Yeah, that's what I want to hear, just the intro.
Yeah, let's do it. Hold on.
This is Peter Wolf from Jay Geils Band, sounding exactly like if Hedberg was half a rapper.
And this story is about L-O-V-E. Love trouble! Love trouble! You know, if you abuse it, you're gonna lose it. If you lose it, you're bound to abuse it. You're bound to abuse it. You ain't gonna be able to find it. You ain't gonna be able to find it. You ain't gonna be able to mind it. You ain't gonna be able to mind it. You ain't gonna be able to hide it. You ain't gonna be able to hide it. You ain't gonna be able to deny it. You ain't gonna be feeling so fine when you're looking for a little loving further on down the line.
Do you want more, or is that enough?
No, it's not even the right clip. That's him fucking trying to riff what he recorded. The recorded version of that.
Hold on. Let me pause that. All right.
Pause that. You want me to look it up at the same time?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you can share your screen.
No.
It's funny because you were telling me to watch it because you're like, listen, he sounds just like Hedberg. And I was like, he does, but he also sounds like Drexel from True Romance trying to rap.
Which one's Drexel?
Oh my God, where's my name?
Gary Oldman,
yes.
Dressed up as the black guy with the dreadlocks from True Romance.
No, I know I'm pretty, but I ain't pretty as no pair of titties.
He thinks it's white boy day. Yeah, that guy.
All right. Did you find?
I think he sounds like Mitch in that clip I just played too. Is there a better one?
Kilobytes?
Oh, hang on.
This genius college student just solved a 210 million-year-old bug problem.
Stop.
With a device
Hold on, this song has a little introduction to it.
Yeah.
It ain't supposed to be said.
You hear that?
Yeah.
It's YouTube. Jay Geils Band Must Have Got Lost live with intro.
Live with intro.
It'll show up with just the album cover. Jay Geils Band, Blow Your Face Out. Well, that's not a nice sentiment, is it?
Let me get it pulled up.
I'm trying to find your fucking screen now. I don't even know where our podcast is.
Jay Geils Band. God dang it, Diane. What is it? Must Have Got Lost. What was the rest of it?
I think I should keep talking. Live with intro.
Live with.
Or live intro.
Let's see. Oh, is this it right here?
I think it is,
I
yeah.
thought that's the one I played.
Want an
No?
easier way to shop for your kids?
Who doesn't want an easy way to shop for our kids?
You have ad copy.
Came along just in time.
Skip.
$10 per item.
But hold on, this song has a little introduction to it.
It's
It's supposed to be sad, though you might feel it that way. It's a song about desperation. Every now and then we do get desperate. And this is a song about Love, and if you abuse it, you're gonna lose it.
Hold on. Could you hear what I was just playing, or do I need to show?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, let me go back.
Raps.
Hold on.
Lose it, you're gonna abuse it. If you abuse it, you ain't gonna be able to choose it, because you ain't gonna have it further on down the line. Things ain't gonna be so fine. You're gonna be sitting there on your little machine trying to look and keep it clean. You're gonna be playing bingo all night all alone. That's why you're sitting there by the telephone and you know that she ain't gonna call you. So you put on the TV and you're watching Johnny Carson segueing right into the Tomorrow Show, but that don't got to go, so you turn it off, you turn on the radio don't seem to get the click, so you say, hey man, I can't look at the split. You start to open up a little book and there's something there you got to overlook, you say, baby, you know there's something on my mind. You say, baby, there's something on my mind. I know that you're home, and I know you ain't all alone. So you start walking over to a house, you get over to a house, you walk over to a door, you start pounding on the door, you say, open up the door, bitch, it's Wolf of with the green teeth, and let me in. Well, she opens up the door, and then you just kind of walk up to her and say, baby. You look up way up at a green mascara, and you say, oh, my darling. You know, her and me was at the party as friends. Do not believe what they say. That's only gossip that they're telling you down the wisecracker line. You say, darling.
Your big curls. And
squeeze them down, Matumba. What's the name of that chick with the long hair?
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel. Hey, Reputa. Reputa. Hey, Reputa. Let me down your hair. Let me climb up the ladder of your love. Because this is what Wolf was saying to you. Love comes once, and when it comes, you better grab it fast. Because sometimes the love you grab ain't gonna last. And I believe I must have. You know, I think I must have. You know, baby, I think I must have. You know, I think I must have.
Got lost.
I must have got lost. Hold on. That's fun.
Goes into a cover song, but that's why they're brilliant in Massachusetts. And I remember when I went back and found that early internet, I'm like, Jesus, it sounds like Hedberg.
I wonder if anyone ever pointed that out to Mitch.
He would have hated it.
You think so?
But yeah, it wasn't like you'd have to find that obscure live track from, late 70s.
Oh, you know what? And you probably couldn't have back then. We didn't have, like, the internet wasn't what it is today when Mitch died. Like, you probably couldn't have.
Oh, fucking Hedberg would be destroyed by memes. If heroin didn't kill him, memes would have. Every fucking Hedberg joke is short enough to put into a GIF and then fucking get all the credit for.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
That's why I like that my bits are fucking elongated and bloated and have all sorts of fat, and they're 20 minutes long with 7 minutes of funny. But no one's gonna put that out on Twitter.
Yeah, they can't steal that. Like, what's bad about Twitter is that, like, all the comics are using it to, like, learn to edit down to these Hedberg like one-liners, and it's just rife for stealing. Like, you see it all the time.
Yeah, but that's why, again, it's good to be outside of the whatever the main format is. Yeah, people might be more famous than me, but no one's fucking copying it.
No. I did want to, because I was like, I'm so scared I'm gonna forget this. We wanted to thank you personally for your Sean Rouse eulogy. The best comedian you never heard of. It was so good.
Yeah, you said that to me, and I a lot of times I'm ashamed of how much of my life I've forgotten. But what eulogy did I give?
Well, it's not a eulogy, but you wrote something about.
I think it was an article you wrote for Vulture or somebody like that.
Yeah.
And it was called "The Greatest Comedian That You Never Heard Of," and it was just a great encapsulation of Sean's life. You wrote that his the way that Sean would write a long bit. He would have. You said that his being in his deathbed was the pause between the tags, and then the way that way that he hung in there for so long was were the tags, and it was just a great way of
He's the most inimitable. If Hedberg is the most mittable,
yeah.
no one can do a fucking solid Sean Rouse. Like
No.
everyone can do a Hedberg. Most people can do an Attell.
Yeah.
But you can't do Sean Rouse. And I think a lot of it was for lack of physicality, his countenance, his face, his looks, his takes were fucking. So you can't swap. You can bring up a premise of Sean Rouse at a comics table, but no one can do it.
Sure. I think it was his straight up patience. Like I know, like when I would be on stage, like I want to get to the punchline. I don't like this silence. I want to be able to make some noise. Sean was not like that at all.
No.
Like he would, if he didn't feel there was enough tension in the room, he would wait longer. Like he'd create more.
I remember him, and he was dying. We doing a late show in Edinburgh at the Fringe Festival, and they're notoriously cunt fucking audiences. It's midnight, and they're all fucking pissed and can't handle themselves. But he just got slower. Rather than panic, he got slower and more deliberate. And I'm sure he'd used the line before. If he hadn't, he used it again, but it was a great line. He just, after this like painful pregnant pause, he said, "Hang on, there's a catcher in my head. I'm waving him off."
Did that get a laugh in Edinburgh?
I wouldn't have been able to hear it over how loud I was laughing.
My favorite thing is to watch Sean come off stage after he'd walked half the audience. And, because it happened, people just couldn't get him sometimes. And, like you said, he would just get slower and that pause got longer. And he would come off stage just so happy. And he'd be like, "I punished him. I punished him." It was my favorite.
I punished him.
It was great. It was all the comics from Houston that knew him. It was our favorite thing to sit in the back of the room and watch him walk a crowd. He did this one show at the Improv where right at the front table in front of the stage was like these 4 black guys. I think they were like football players, like NFL football players. And he did his police baton joke. Do you remember that one? Well, he was talking about him and Brandy.
Oh, black don't crack.
Black don't crack. And he's like, "Sure it does. You just got to hit it with a police baton." 3 of the guys laughed. 1 did not. And he was just like staring right into their table, just like, "I'm going to need you 3 to protect me from that guy." And then he's walking the crowd and Brandy stopped 2 people at the door. Like, what happened? And they were just like, "That guy's offensive. That guy's racist." And she was like, "That guy's my husband." Great. Just
when I first worked with him at the Laugh Stop, fucking Babbitt couldn't talk enough about this kid, like to the point where he can't live up to the expectations.
Babbitt did that.
He did, but no, he lived up, and so he opened for me the first time I worked with him at the Laugh Stop, and he wasn't drinking because that's back when he thought he had lupus.
Yeah.
And I guess it was like at the open mic after that. I was hosting, so it had to be the open mic that I stayed around for. And I brought him up and I said, like giving him shit. He doesn't drink because he's got lupus. And I'm like, "Fuck you. I have radio in the morning. I'm drinking." And I introduced him with that, and he just walked up. And he goes, "Yeah, Dougie. One time I had lupus. I had morning radio and lupus." Call me up and run bits past me because, and I go, I just don't get it. I'm not shitting. I don't get it. And then I'd see him do it that night and go, "Oh, okay. You're just." You can't just say Sean Rouse jokes.
No.
You have to be Sean Rouse. And when he'd just say his jokes at me without being on stage and being Sean Rouse, I'm like, that's not funny.
Yeah, I imagine how flat his jokes would fall on paper. You just, yeah. Did he ever write like any kind of published writing? No, it wouldn't work.
No,
No.
no, but he would
He
write.
even fucking he made a CD accidentally that someone else, I'm sure, did every part of. And then he asked, it was back in the MySpace days. Hey, can you promote this on your MySpace? And I did, and he sold a bunch of, but he was in charge of, mailing them out and didn't.
No.
So the next time he worked with me, I think it was like a year and a half or 2 years later, he opened for me in San Diego, and people were coming up to the merch booth going, "No, you still owe me a CD 2 years ago."
Oh my god.
Take one.
Are we trying to get like his last stuff?
We do.
released?
Do you remember Brian Hersey? He's a hilarious Houston comic. He's got the raw recording of Sean's last album that he was trying to get out.
Oh, yeah. He sent that to me. Kind of trailed off.
Yeah.
No.
But
It started strong, and then it started getting really awkward.
but Hersey's definitely looking for a way to get that out in the world somehow, so that he can, so that the profits can go.
Yeah, I know I had a conversation with him, but I'm usually drinking, so I forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, it needs to be edited down, and
Yeah.
I think we did talk about that, but
Yeah. I think Hersey wants to do that because I think he's the guy that knew Sean that knew Sean best. So I think Hersey wants to take that job on, the job of editing it and cleaning it up, but obviously it hasn't.
yeah, it needs to be fucking chopped in half and cut out some of that dead weight. But I mean, Sean was known for that. Fighting, it's going to start to drag, especially towards the end where his liver was so fucked from just the medications he'd been on that he would drink 2 gin and tonics and be fucked.
Yeah.
I had to walk away from him at the Melrose Improv once. I just met David Spade that night, and he's there with his fucking lady that's taller than him and talking to me. And Sean Rouse is at the stool over, and they're jammed in the middle. And the girlfriend looks at David Spade and goes, "That guy's leering at me." I don't know, that's my buddy Shawnee Rouse. And I rubbed his head, and he fucking jumped up to fight me. "Don't you ever fucking touch my head." And then the fucking bartender looks at his watch. It's like 8:30 at night. He's like, "Shawnee, I can't serve you like this. It's 8:30 at night, and you're already like this." And,
Yeah. We have so many of those Sean stories where, like, if he thought for a second you were going to try to be his handler for the night, like, he would fight you.
Yeah, he would turn on you right away.
Yeah.
I'm a bartender. I've had to cut Sean off a couple of times.
biting people.
Yep.
Fucking, that was his patented fucking wrestling move. He'd bite you.
No, he'd bite me on the ass at the laugh stop. And like, if I were having a party at my house after like a show, it was such a like ordeal, but like, you can't tell Sean, like, because he would end up under your kitchen table for 3 days and you couldn't get rid of him.
Kaylee had to fucking chase him around. He woke up and just started pissing on the air conditioner, and Kaylee got there almost on time with a pizza box that was sitting around. And then he's holding the pizza box under the piss as he's guiding him to the bathroom.
I'm sure people listening to this who don't know who Sean is, they're like, why are you friends with this guy?
Because he was great.
He's brilliant.
My friend Craig and Sean used to go out and hit on women all the time, and it was Sean's favorite thing. Anytime Craig was doing well, Sean used to just like come in and just dive bomb, just ruin it for him. He had like 2 great lines where like Craig's doing really well with his lady at the bar, and Sean just kind of comes over and just goes, "Hey, I'm new around here. Do you know of any place where it's dark and women jog?" Apparently there was another night where they had 2 women back at Craig's apartment, and things are going well for Craig but not for Sean. So Sean just gets up in the middle and goes, "All right, ladies, take your pants off. I'm gonna go warm up the honey." And they're off like a shot.
Oh, Sean.
We did Dave Attell's Insomniac tour, just like a few dates. There's like Boise and Portland and Seattle. But he had the fucking tour bus, and you felt like fucking rock stars. But the day I got to Boise to start it, he comes to meet me for sushi at 5 o'clock at night. He had just woken up, and he's telling me in his labored way how he was like throwing up blood, and pissed the bed again, and all this surgery he has to have. And I'm like, have you thought about like sobering up? And like, he goes, Dougie, that's the thing. I don't seem to be able to give a fuck.
Yeah. Having said all these terrible, like, I don't know, I guess to the audience, terrible things about Sean, I will say my last conversation with him was my first sober conversation with him. Like, he was at the Improv, and I can't remember who was in town. It may have been Segura, but we were sitting in the back, and Sean was stone sober, and I had the most polite, wonderful version of Sean I've ever seen in my life. Like, he was such a gentleman, like, let me buy you a drink, but he wasn't drinking. And that was the last time I saw him alive. And so at least I get to take that memory with me. They wasn't all just like biting and,
Have you ever seen the YouTube video of him and Junior Stopka doing the Bill Burr puppet act?
Yes, I have.
I haven't seen it. No.
I can't believe I haven't shown that to you. Your Bill Burr obsession.
I have, you need to see it. Have an obsession with Bill
It's
Burr.
like, do you remember Sean and Bob Biggerstaff used to do the Senior Bob and Smarty Pants?
Yes.
It's that, but it's Junior Stopka and Sean, and instead of
Junior does a really good Bill Burr impression.
Yeah.
So and Sean looked a lot like Bill Burr at the end. But,
yeah. They do.
So yeah, we just fucking painted his fucking face up, and he's moving his lips at all the wrong time. He's almost an Otto and George ripoff.
I'll have to watch that as soon as we're done here.
Are we at guilty pleasure yet? I don't know what I have no
sense.
Want to
do that?
Time. Oh fuck, we're early. I don't know how long your podcast lasts. I just assume all of them are an hour, so we're good.
We do, yeah.
Dude, there's a raging storm outside. I'm like looking at my map, like, is there a tornado? But
that's what happens when you talk about Sean Rouse in
Jesus
Texas.
Jesus Christ!
The storm clouds gather.
It's nasty out here right now. Yeah, I was gonna do 6 Degrees of Tommy Stinson with Jeremy Essig. So comedian Jeremy Essig. Do you know Jeremy? Yeah. He said to tell you.
How do I know you?
Me and you. So we met. You were.
Was it at a outside bar?
No, twice. Oh, I do have one story I want to tell. So the outside bar, you had played indoors, and I think it wasn't Walters at Washington. It was another.
I think it was one of those, but we went across the street to drink, and they had picnic tables in the back.
Yeah. And there's that picture of us where, like, I don't know why your pants were down, but I'm helping you pull your pants back up, and then somebody was snapping pictures.
That was like a whole decade of my career. My pants were down after
we had all taken a group picture. I remember Nicoludo was there, and then like someone had taken
Nicoludo. What a fucking that guy was.
So I'm for some reason
like Frank Sinatra. It was probably that gig because he had like put together and he put some opener on that did like fucking 25 minutes. Like, what the fuck are you guy off stage? And
I think it was.
And he's asking for a bonus for his guy. And he's saying, Chaley, can you put a little cherry on top? You know, for you're fucking 19 years old and you're fucking dressing and talking like Frank Sinatra. Get the fuck out of here. A cherry on top.
I've never had someone compare Nick to Frank Sinatra, but that you nailed it. I remember I was down low and we were taking a picture, and then someone, I don't know if it was you or Nick, like flipped my hand over, and then your balls were in my hand for the photo. Yeah. And then there was another show. Well, at that show, I remember.
You don't know if it's me or him. They cropped our heads out of the picture.
I don't know who flipped my hand. It was definitely your balls in my hand, but I don't know.
All right, yeah, and that might have been Nick's fucking power move to, when someone tags your joke and ruins it.
Well, what I remember from that show is you were on stage, and I had gone to the restroom when I was walking back past the stage, and you pointed me out in front of everybody and said that I looked like porn star Gage, which I do, and everyone had told me that at the moment. It was very popular.
Well, that's how diluted porn has become. Like, if you said you look like a current porn star, you go, I don't know, fucking, I just click on whatever's on the first page. Porn is like Google. If you're not on the first page, I'm on meth or something because I can't come if I go past page 1. And it's a fruitless yank.
It's all porn looks like the room smells terrible now. There's so much like ugly porn, especially on the first page. Like that's the most popular stuff you see.
Yeah, amateur porn is the same reason I don't like improv comedy. I don't know, it's funny already. If you didn't write it down, try it out. I'm fucking amateur porn.
Oh my god, that's great.
One angle.
God, okay. What I was gonna say is, so we have a thing where comedian Jeremy Essig does kind of like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but he can connect whoever we're talking about to the basis of the replacements in less than 6 steps. Let's see. Hold on, let's watch. Well, so he did Jay Geils, so let's watch that. Hold on. Let me share my screen.
Hey friends, welcome to a very Boston-centric edition of 6 Degrees, where this week we're going to connect Tommy Stinson to the Geils Band through their singer, Peter Wolf. Wolf left the band following the success of the album Freeze Frame, wanting to move in a more blues-based direction with his solo debut, 1984's Lights Out. That album featured bass from Maurice Starr, who at the same time he was playing on Lights Out was also busy introducing the world to his newest boy band creation, yes, the New Kids on the Block. In addition to forming that group, Starr would also pen all the songs on their first 2 albums, including Please Don't Go Girl, a breakout for both the band and their 60-year-old heartthrob, Joey McIntyre. McIntyre wanted to release a pair of solo albums in the late 90s and early 2000s, the second of which, Meet Joe Mac, would feature drumming from Sterling Campbell, who had just left his role as the drummer in Soul Asylum, a band that a decade later would feature bass from Tommy Stinson. So, Jay Geils to the New Kids on the Block, to Soul Asylum, to Tommy Stinson. G. Allen 1 week, New Kids on the Block next.
That was good.
With all due respect to the very funny Jeremy Essig, could you have done that without Google? Started as, can you do this in your own fucking head?
So I think he can. So he used to do this on a radio show he had in the early 2000s, and I think that was the thing, is that he most of the time can. He's such a nerd with music. It's always impressive.
Well, yeah,
right.
it'd be more impressive if it was not a pre-record.
Okay, then you're gonna
throw Rickie Lee Jones at him.
I think he actually texted me the Rickie Jones, but he's not doing it live. So yeah,
but I just one up him. I'm 1 degree. I met her.
There you go. There you go.
Kevin Bacon was the best man at my cousin's wedding when it was like 1990 or something. So yeah, I have 1 degree of separation from Kevin Bacon.
I think at this point, Doug, I think you have 1 degree of separation from anyone I throw at you. You're like this random social butterfly now that no one sees coming.
People.
All right, we'll wrap this up then. Doug, do you have a guilty pleasure song?
No, I don't. Like like I said before, my tastes are such that if when I had an iPod before, I can't do anything with technology, so I'd have other people add songs, and then when I tried to add Bill Burr's podcast, it erased all of my songs, and I fuck it, no more. I don't listen to music anymore. But I couldn't have my iPod on at a party for more than 3 songs without someone going, who the fuck is playing this? So yeah, most of my songs are guilty pleasures. And I'd say the majority of any music I've learned in the last 10 years was from a commercial. I remember you were a sellout if your music was on a commercial, and now it's the only place I hear new music. I fucking hate music, but sometimes fucking that Soyo, it's a Grubhub commercial. And
that can work.
And I looked it up, and it's got a video. It's like a fucking Mexican version of the Bumblebee Blind Melon.
Oh,
fucking but cocky fucking Mexican girl. Yeah, it's a fucking brilliant video, and it's like this is probably for children. I don't fucking care. I love it. It makes me smile every time.
Shannon Hoon, was that his name?
That was his name, yeah.
Yeah.
You know fun music, though. I learned about the Matoid from you, and I play him in the bars that I work at, and it just blows people's mind. Like, everybody just like, who the hell is this? This is fantastic.
I would tour with him, and he's so not a ridiculous, but menacingly ridiculous presence on stage. And he would go out into the audience. He's this giant square-jawed Finnish guy, and he'd just get in your face and he would do covers of like The Love Boat. The Love Boat, we'll be making another. But it was like so ridiculous. People would like complain that his comedy sucked. And I'm like, it's not a fucking stand-up act. It's he's a musician first and foremost, but he's a little ridiculous. So people I like to think that my audience is fucking smarter, but
I had a feeling I was like, I can't imagine Doug feeling guilty about liking anything. Like, my guilty pleasure songs is like, I like yacht rock, apparently. Like, I can't say no to REO Speedwagon. Like, I just can't. This is good stuff.
Yeah, no, this music, I used to, when I was a telemarketer, they'd play rock and roll in the fucking lobby area, the space in between the fucking cubicle anyway. So they'd always have this one station on, and I would call and make non-requests. I go, hey, I have a non-request. Can you not play Marrakesh Express today? Because you play it all the time, and it's a terrible song. Can I dedicate that? Non-request.
You're probably the only one that ever called them and did that. All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but man, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was awesome, Doug.
I love you both. You're still in Houston?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You said something about your ranch.
Yeah. We have a family ranch here between here and Austin, and my husband and I try to escape to it as much as we can.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'll be there in November.
Yes.
Yeah, do a Skank Fest. Yeah, I'll be at Skank Fest.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, and I think Jeremy might be coming too.
All right.
We'll see if we can dust off Babbitt and have him come out and say hi to you.
Yeah.
Fucking recluse. I love it.
All right, Doug. I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much. Oh, wait. Do you want to promote other than Skank Fest? Do you want to? Where are you gonna be? Let the audience know.
The dates are going up on the site. DougStanhope.com. Go to the tour dates, and he's adding shit all the time. So.
All right, cool. All right, bye, Doug. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
God, that was great.
Oh, that was good.
That was so nice of him to do that. Like, he's much, much, much bigger than us.
He's too big for this podcast. He knows it.
We really did not have to do that. That was really sweet of him.
It's good. It's good to see him. It's good to talk to him again. All right. Like, we're gonna be able to top that. Next week it's just us again. Everybody's like, no, thank you. I think we could change it. We have a lot of songs. I mean, we don't have to tell you what we're gonna do next week. As of right now, we're talking about doing Joey by Concrete Blonde. Mm-hmm. And Doug had said, he'd made that request. Can you stop playing this? On Sirius XM First Wave, they play this song, I swear to God, every hour, and I'm always like ready for it. I'm like, I can't get enough. I love the song, but we could change our mind before next week. So we'll see. We'll see what we do.
It's gonna be a surprise.
Yeah. All right. I hope you guys loved Doug as much as we do.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Vogue.